Hey, I'm TDHA, and today I'm gonna do a talk about releases as a response to Vince Venturella. I've taken some notes, so I will be looking down a bit because I will be sure to get around everything I wanted to talk about. First off, I will start talking about the business type that I think Games Workshop is, and how that will affect these releases. Games Workshop, I think, is kind of a protective, mercantilistic, collectible miniatures company, to be a bit harsh. And I actually don't, I don't mean that as a bad thing necessarily, but what I mean are we have seen they're trying to get legal protection on every kind of miniature. Because they want the rights and they want to be able to make extra money in that way, and they don't want any legal issues with other companies. So that's their choice, and therefore I think they're going more and more into the collectible part and less into the gaming aspect, and therefore. And therefore we will see these rolling releases, or what we should call them. So how are these releases going to look like? I think they are going to make releases that moves the most sales, and therefore, of course, they will change the basic sets, or the starter sets, or what we will call them. Often, because that's where the money really lies. If they change the ground package, then they will turn more profit, which also Vince commented on. But of course they can't do that too much, because the players will stop playing the game, and then it would only be a collectible company. And therefore they will have these rolling releases. I think they will be themed, so you will see perhaps all 6 new armies being changed a little bit as a kind of ongoing campaign, or maybe 2 or 3 of them at least. Yeah, and that brings up how limited these releases will be. Will they be time limited? So you can only buy them for a short time, half a year, 3 months, maybe even less. Or will it be more of a numbers game? They are a collectible company, so perhaps it's a numbers. Maybe they will produce X 1,000 boxes, and that will be it. And when they are gone, they're gone. Perhaps they will do some re-releases of the limited. We don't know, but I really hope it is more of a time period, so more than a collectible thing anyway, because if it's a time thing, you know, if you don't get in one campaign, you know, okay, that's all right, I will hit the next one. Where with the numbers game, you can end up not getting the one that you actually wanted and needed. Where if it's time based, you will get it second hand. You could get it second hand, and maybe even in the store if they still have a big number of the boxes there. So yeah, but yeah, it's a bit hard, but yeah, I don't like to think of the miniatures as limited in the perspective of within a year. I think they should be available at least a year, and perhaps even more than that. But I'm a Britonia player, so I'm used to the stability of an army that are not changed. I can use the same models and all that. So yeah, it's a bit outside my comfort zone of yeah, but that's how it is. And then should the releases build onto the existing army, or should it replace something in the army? I mean, or rather, should they replace each other, so you can't play stuff from an earlier campaign in a new campaign, or should it all just be mashed into this basic army? I think I would like it to be a bit like End Times. So you agree that now we play a Sigmar campaign, and then everything related to the Sigmar campaign can be played, but not, and the basic pack, but nothing else, and so on and so on and so on. Or perhaps it should just bundle up so you can play all the campaigns together with this basic pack. But then we get into the problem: how limited is it? Because if it is very limited, and some units will be better than others, then we would have some big pairing problems. It could be very hard to maintain some kind of balance in the game. I fear anyway, but yeah, that we have to see how the community reacts, and how big these releases are and how powerful they will be and stuff like that. Perhaps will not even be a problem. Perhaps they are so balanced and basically tested that it doesn't matter if you mix and match. So yeah. How often do I want the releases? Yeah, as I said, I'm a Bretonnia player and a Dwarf player. I'm not used to too many releases, but if I should see it as a player who wants the company to grow and the game to evolve, I would say 6 big releases a year. And by that I mean 3 big themed campaigns, for example involving 2 armies, so every army would get a campaign during a year. Yeah. And then 3 army releases with 6 armies. That would mean that every army would be upgraded every other year. I think that would be appropriate, because it will make some change-ups. It will do so that no army will be forgotten like Bretonnia have been, and yeah, I think it will bring in a lot of good things. And yeah. So that's it. And then maybe 6 smaller releases, so we would get a release every month. But the smaller releases should be like I think a mage to a certain army, a new spell, a new lore, something like that. Perhaps a unit or a monster or something like that, but basically very small. So we get something into the game, but nothing really changing, game changing in the big way. I think that would be probably the best. So it would be something that you didn't need to buy, but something that could bring something extra in to a certain army or something like that. And to keep the suspense going, of course. And that brings me into the last part of what I was going to talk about. And that's how much leaks and rumors should be a part of this hobby. Do we want to know everything on forehand, or is it a good thing that they are just springing the surprises on us? And I'm in both camps, because of course I would like to know something. I would like to be sure that Bretonnia was or was not canned. But the big thing would be nice to have some generally knowledge about. I don't need to know everything. The certain units, the certain rules, I actually don't want to know it, because if everything is leaked like it is in Magic, you don't need to go buy the army books. You don't need to go buy the big rule book. You wouldn't need to perhaps even buy the miniatures, because you would know it on forehand if they were good or not. And therefore I actually think that the smaller rules, the dynamics and stuff like that, I actually would like that to be hidden, so we can, on the release date, open a package and say, ooh, that was what I wanted, or okay, that is alright, and that Christmas feeling, that when you're opening a present that you're not entirely sure about. I actually like that. And also the thing that you can't pre-plan an army before it is released, like you can do in Magic. You can match up and find a deck that will be the best composition possible before the deck isn't released. Yeah, and therefore I don't like the full leak, but a little bit of information would be nice. I don't think we will get it because, as I said, they are a collectible company now, primarily, and have been for a long time, and therefore the miniatures is the important thing. So what we should expect from Games Workshop is pretty miniatures to a price that is, yeah, you pay what you get. Pay for what you get. So yeah, that's it, I think, about so please comment and join in the discussion. Have fun, like the comment, yeah, like the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you like what you saw, and I will see you next time. Bye.